Hello, welcome to the HackerRank interview preparation series, and this is third video in the part of playlist. In this video, we'll be looking at New Year chaos. It is marked as medium problem here. I'll try to make it as simply as for you and me as well. So let's start with the problem. So in the problem definition, it says it's a New Year's Day and everyone is lying for a roller coaster ride. So there are n people and which are numbered like this, and they want to go closer to the line, like this line or ticket counter, as soon as possible. So what they are allowed to do is they can bribe two people. So let's say you are the last person in the queue and you are in hurry. So what you can do is you can bribe 7 and he'll take your position and you will be in the front. So it will look like 8 and 7. After that you have another chance of bribing one time, one instance. So you can bribe with 6. So this like swaps will occur and you take 6 position, and this array will look like this. Okay, so in this particular function we have been given this array. In the function we have been given array which is like number of peoples which are consecutively in the line. Okay, so in the problem as I said earlier, we have an array and it is a consecutive array. So it will be always like 1 in the first place, 2nd in the second place. So no matter how many people are in the queue, they will always be in the consecutive terms. So it will go like 1, 2, 3 and so onwards. So our this particular question asks us to find how many bribe took place. So they will give us the dismantled array or the array after which bribe had taken place earlier, and we need to find how much bribes were given and taken. And if that particular bribes, like let's say if person which was allowed to do 2 bribes and instead he do more than 2, like let's say 3 or 4, let's say the person at 4th shows up at the first position. So this condition is 2 chaotic. So whenever we find a person which has done more than 2 swaps, so that is the invalid condition and we need to print out 2 chaotic in this situation. However, whenever there is a valid condition and whenever a person moved only 2 places, so in that case we will be printing out the number of swaps took place. So this is the case, and let's look at the constraint. So t is number of test cases, n is number of people or the size of array. After that we'll be given array and we need to find the number of swaps. So this is like illustration of the same. So you can see that first all the people are in the line. So number 5 has like needs to be in a hurry or he has some work, so he swaps with the 4. So swap 4 took his place and 5 replaces 4. Similarly, let's say 5 do one more swap, so it will be in his position and 3 will come down here. So this is like simple illustration of the same. So in order to solve this problem, because it marked as a medium, so you can basically think this particular problem in terms of sorting. So in sorting we know that, let's say whenever we are given array and let's say this is like 2, 1 and 3. So in order to solve array we need to find how many swaps are required. Like say we can replace 1 with 2 and this particular array will be sorted. So in this particular case we call it inversion. So in like simpler terms, number of swap required is the inversion count. So inversion is, for those who don't know what is inversion count or inversion of array, whenever a big number shows before a small number in an array. So let's say if this array was like 3, 2, 1, so inversion count would be for 3 it's 2 and again 2 is bigger than 1, so plus 1. So number of inversion count or the number of swaps required in this case would be 3. So I basically go with this particular solution and I'll explain all the solutions, possible solutions in the paint. Okay, so let's start with the explanation. So this is our like starting array, and after number of bribes which took place, the array looks like this. As I was saying earlier, it is like a basic count of number of the inversion. So in this case, we have let's say 3 possible solutions for counting number of inversion. So that is, first one is like using insertion sort. So you can take 2 loops, and after that you can iterate through loop, checking the first number is greater than the second. So that is the one case. Second would be using merge sort algorithm, or the code for that. So we can divide our array into half, and after that we can count like divide further it to the half unless we get the like last element, and then we compare the 2 elements and check if the first one is the bigger than the second, and if yes, we will increment the count, and that will give us the let's say inversion count number. And third one would be using self balancing tree, or I'll just write BIT for the simplification. So you can implement BIT by let's say sets, and in the first go I used using bit only. So insertion sort solve this problem in like O of n square. So like this is no situation for anyone to go for this counting number of inversion, so you won't go with the inversion sort. So merge sort would solve this particular problem in O of n log n. And similarly with the set or self balancing tree, it would be again solved with the log n. You can take n log n because we need to insert all the arrays into the set, so this would be again n log n. So basically this is like clean code. BIT is clean code, and it's much simpler than implementing the merge sort. It's quite like hectic code, or you need to use the recursion for the left hand and the right hand. So this was the case, and I solved with the BIT. So before showing you the code, I want to draw your attention to the important details. So as we know, we are allowed to do only maximum 2 swaps. Okay, so what people are what someone might miss is, so let's say 3 swap position with 2. So this would look like 1, 3, 2, 4, 5. Okay, no issues with the code. Okay, again let's say 4 swaps position with 2. So this will look like 1, 3, 4, 2, 5. Okay, like we are still good, no issue. Again let's say 5 changes its position with 2. So now the code, or now the array or the line will look like 5 and 2. Okay, so one might think like let's say one person was allowed to maximum 2 swaps or 2 drives. So one might think the 2 need to be in the range of this, or 2 in the left hand side. However, this is not true. As we like saw, 3 can swap one time, 4 can swap one time, and 5 again swap one time with the 2. So there is difference between final 2's index and initial 2's index is more than 2. So this is one of the main observation you need to consider or keep in mind, because whenever this particular problem would have been solved easily, let's say by taking the index. So if you take the indexes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you subtract the absolute difference of the same, so this will result into 1, 1, 2, 1 and 1. So this will basically give us the 6, and it like counted 2 times for each swap. So if you divide by 2, so this will give us the answer 3. And yes, for this case the correct answer is 3 as well. So because we can get the solution by doing this, if by this simple formula. However, this particular solution will fail in this case, which I showed you on the left side. So hence we need to improvise, and we don't want to use this simple like a simple algorithm where we are just subtracting the indexes from the given element. So we need to improvise on our part. So this is the one of the case, like the number in the front can also come into the end of the array without having swiped more than 2 times, like without being bribed two more times. So one of the elements can swap with it consecutively, and it can go into the places more than 2 times. Okay, this is the one of the main observation. Second observation would be all the numbers are in the consecutive terms. So no matter what values you get, so always a queue for any like movie or something similar to it, always be in the consecutive terms. So this will again help us in solving the problem. So I'll show you my code which I use, like I made through using sets, and it was giving n log n type. However, again I got a better solution for this. This is not my solution, but this particular solution works better for this problem only. And these three are like generalized solution where we need to find swaps for like number of swaps, minimum swaps required to get a sorted array. These are three basic solution for that, and these are the running time of them, so you can use accordingly. So I'll first show my solution, what was my approach, and then I'll take you there to the O of n times solution. Okay, let's go. Okay, this was my first solution, and it passed all the test cases. There is no timeout, and I'll walk you through the code, and after that we'll discuss the O of n time complexity solution. So this is main, then we take input, after that the test cases, after that we'll we'll use a for or while loop for the number of test cases. We'll take the input, that is size of array here, and then I have declared vector array. We have taken input for the given array. After that, okay, here's the given array after which bribes took place, and after that what I did in this particular loop is I took another variable j which indexed from 1 to n, and what I did was first we need to find the two chaotic situation. So let's say we have a two chaotic situation, then I don't want to go into further looping into the array and find out how many bribes took place. So I put this particular solution two chaotic in the front, so whenever this happens we can break out the loop from here. So in the checking if two chaotic position or the solution is correct or not, what I did was I took the difference between the value at ith index and value of j, and j is simply I plus 1, you can see here. So I took the difference of value at ith position in our array and the element j. So if that particular difference is more than 2 and the given element is also more than that of I plus 1, so this means that our given element here is 2 chaotic. So in this case our 2 is not greater than I plus 1, so we can see that. But let's say if the 5 comes at the top, so this would give us the difference between our values is like 4, and our value at the ith index again 5 would be greater than that of our I plus 1 value, that is j's value. So as this both condition makes it true, so this means that the person or the position has traveled more than 3 times or 2 times, and this condition gives us the two chaotic solution. So this is particularly this solution, and if it's too chaotic, it finds out here and it directly gives a return value, or let's say C out here, and we don't do further this solution or the calculations on the particular problem. Okay, let's move on. After that, if this is not the case, we want our problem to move on, and the problem will go into the loop. Sorry, will come out of the loop, and it will check if it was too chaotic or not. So flag says that I initialize flag value to 0. So if it's too chaotic, it won't go here. So let's say if it's not too chaotic, it will go here. In if case, it will call the function count inverse. And as I told you earlier, I use self balancing tree and implementation in by using sets. So I took one set, and this is iterator for the set. So I implemented the insert function. So let me give you a brief idea about three functions here. Insert function helps us in inserting values in the set, and we know that in set or multi-set the values are always placed in the sorted order. Okay, this is one of the case. After that, what we do, initialize inverse value to be 0. We loop in, we check for every i's value, then insert into the array, and after that upper bound is one of the function which is very useful in this case. So upper bound is function which gives us like the first element's pointer address. It returns iterator pointer which has greater value than the said value. Let's say like I have called upper bound function for array of ith value, let's say of 2. So it will return maximum like first value which it incurs in the set. What is that is, let's say 2 is here. So this will return me this value because set is in the sorted order, and first element's pointer it returns which has a greater value than that of the value which we called for. Okay, and after that distance is function which calls which calculates the number of elements between 2 pointers. So if you pass the two iterations, let's say begin and end, so this will particular function will give us the number of elements in that particular array. And in the upper bound, like if let's say we have the element 5 and we pass upper bound function for 5 only, so in that case there is no greater element than that of 5. So in that case it would return us the end or end point iterator. So this is the case, and this particular solution calculate the number of inverses for us in order to do the swap to get a sorted array. And this was my solution, and this is complicated if you are not very familiar with the set. So I'll take you to the solution. It's very simple and it can be done in O of n time. Okay, let's move toward the simpler solution. Okay, so the best case also would be this case. So let's say we have 1 2 3 4 5 in the line, and this is our array. So this would be the best case, as the number of swaps we need to do is 0 because all the numbers are in the sorted position. Okay, so this is the best case for us. And let's say we have another case, let's say 4 1 4 3 5 and 2. So in this case also we have 3 which is placed correctly. So that is the case, and for the remaining parts we want to check the swaps or the bribe which took place. Okay, so let's move with the solution. So what we can do is we can transfer our array from behind, so from this position, and let's say we have one based indexing here. So our loop would be, let's say, for I, so it will be n minus 1 to, it will go to the 0 position. And in this particular for loop, what you want to do is we want to first check if it's in its correct position or not. So let's say as I told you earlier, if 3 is in its correct position, we don't want to do anything. So what we'll do is we'll first check if the value of, let's say we have array A, for this let's do array, the value of element, like value of the array at the index I, if it's not equal to the I plus 1 value. So I plus 1 because we have 0 based indexing, and if we want to check, first if it's if it's there, if 5 is at 5th position, we don't want to do anything. So we only will test cases where it's not equal to the given value. So this will ensure that we are doing or calculating number of swaps or bribes for those element only where swaps took place. Okay, so this is the first condition. So let's check out the possibilities. So where our element can go. So we know that there are only 2 possible cases. So it can move ahead in the 4th, or it can let's say this is the correct array. So it can go here or 5 can go here. Okay, 5 cannot go here at the 2th position because that would be the chaotic position. Okay, so we'll check. Let's say we know that there are only 2 possible positions where our 5 can be in this scenario. So we'll check, let's say if, and we also want to ensure that we won't go in this in the segmentation fault. We don't want to access elements which are not present, like we don't want I become -1 or -2. So we'll basically ensure that if our I -1 is greater than that of or is equal to 0, because we don't want to transverse into the dead man's zone. So this is the case, and we'll check the arrayth element which we are currently accessing is present at I-1 value. Okay, this is one possible scenario where 5 could have gone. So let me complete this. Okay, this is one case. So let me switch the color. Okay, this is one case where it could have done the one swap, or there is another possibility, it could have gone to the second position. So we have two if, or you can use else if. Else if we want to ensure that we are not going into segmentation fault and not accessing elements which are not present. So we want to ensure that first, this condition, and element at ith position. So let's say a. Okay, these are the two possible cases where our 5 can go. So let's say, okay, so whenever we find our element is moved by 1, what we can do is we'll take variable, let's say swap, because we are counting number of swaps, initialize it to the 0 in the beginning, and we'll count, like we'll do swap. Let's name it swaps because we have function called swap which we are going to use. So I'll do swaps plus plus. So we'll increment our number of inversion by 1. Okay, and what we can do is we'll correct the positions, or we'll sort the array. So what we can do, we'll call the swap function and we'll fix the array. So this will be array I and this particular value. Okay, so let's say our 5 was present here, and it will check where 5 is present. There are two possible scenarios, here or here. It found 5 here. So what will it do is it will add one swap in the swaps, like one counter, and it will do this. It will swap the elements. Okay, so this is the whole idea of first if loop. After that, similarly, the 5 can go at the second position from its second position to the left from its position. So what we can do is we can add 2 to the swaps because it moved by 2 times. So swaps will be add plus 2. Okay, this is the case, and we want to ensure that all the elements are fixed. So because we are again moving to the left hand side and we want to calculate actual swaps which took place. So what we can do is we can call three-way swap. So you can take another variable, let's say temp or something. You can initialize one value, then you can initialize this. You can place variable here and initialize this value by another variable, and here let's say this is the third line, and you can initialize temp here. So I'll show this in the code because there is no space and it's a little complicated to write here. So let's move ahead. Like I'll show you the code directly because I think this video has been too long. for the simple or medium problem. So let's look at the code directly. Okay, this is the code. First main, it's similar to the what I shown you earlier. Test cases, then I take input into the array, and after that we call a minimum bribes function, or we can do that count inverse as well. So we take n as n size, and count is number of counts or swaps, and after that, as I told you earlier, we need to check if the given value is not equal to the I plus 1th value. If it's not equal, we'll do the swaps and count the remaining value. So this is the first if loop. We'll first check if it's valid, and if yes, then we'll check for the value for I minus 1 and I minus 2. As I told you earlier, we'll be adding swaps by 2 times, and this is the 3-way swap. And if our element is not present in both the situation, we can simply write else statement and print it 2KRD. So this is very simple solution. It passes all the test cases. So I'll be adding both the codes in the description, and thank you for watching. Have a great day.